Hello everyone. Today we are going to explore one of the most interesting experiment in the science where most particles pass right through but a few came bouncing back. But what could be inside the atom to cause this? It's just like someone thrown the ball and suddenly it bounced back.
The plum pudding model of the atom was one of the most widely accepted models for understanding atomic structure around the world. However, many experiments conducted by the scientists to understand atomic structure showed surprisingly different results. They contradicted the plum pudding model. As a result, many scientists around the world had to reconsider the structure of atom and study it again. So scientists thought about Thomson plum pudding model. There was good evidence for the existence of negatively charged electron. But what about their arrangement in a positively charged sphere? Was there any evidence for this? Was there anyone who could find it? Then Rutherford came and thought about it. Ernest Rutherford lived and studied in New Zealand until he was 23. In 1895, he moved to Cambridge, England to study under Thomson. He later worked in universities in Montreal, Canada, and Manchester, England. Rutherford wanted to test Thomson's plum pudding model. He made a prediction based on this model. Around 1911, Rutherford conducted the famous gold-foil experiment. He did this to understand the structure of atom. This experiment was also conducted by the Hans Geiger and Ernest Marsden along with Rutherford. The experiment they conducted was a breakthrough in the field of chemistry which helped them understand the atom more than accurately. The setup of their experiment looked something like this. As we can see here, they used a source of alpha particle which was enclosed in a lead container with a small hole. This was so that the alpha particle would only come out of this small hole and travel in a straight line. But why did they select alpha particle? Alpha particle have high energy and also heavy. So if we say the atom is like a pudding of positively charged particle with negatively charged electron, so the particle will pass right through it. This makes sense because heavy particle will pass through the atoms like pudding structure. This is what Rutherford thought. They chose alpha particle for this experiment due to their higher mass and energy compared to protons. Next, they use a very thin gold foil which the alpha particle would bombard it. Why did they choose gold foil in their experiment? Well, a very thin gold foil has about 1000 atoms. The fewer atoms there are, the easier the experiment will be. Finally, can we see this circular band with a gap here? What could this be? Well, it's a screen, a fluorescent screen that will help us detect radiations. This means the screen will glow or give off the fluorescent light whenever alpha particle hit it. So the track of alpha particle can be traced this way. Now we are ready to find out what happened next and see how the experiment works. As we know, Thomson's model suggested that an atom is a sphere of positively charged with negatively electron embedded inside it. This means the alpha particle will pass straight through the atom and hit the detector. And why is that? Because the mass of alpha particle is greater than the mass of positively charges. This means they should hit the atom straight on and pass right through it. In this case, only a small deviation would be expected. But did they observe this? No, that's not it. They were surprised by the result. What result did they get? They saw that the most of fast moving alpha particle hit the detector passing straight through the foil, but some particles were deflected at small angles. They were surprised to see that some alpha particles also rebounded. How could this be possible? From these three observations, what conclusion did Rutherford draw? So they observed that most of fast moving alpha particles pass straight through the foil and hit the detector. However, some particles were deflected by the small angles, and they were surprised to find some alpha particles even rebounded. How could this be possible? These three observations led the Rutherford to conclude that the plum pudding model was not correct, and based on his conclusion, he put forward a new hypothesis that explained the structure of atoms.
What were his conclusions? Let's look at his conclusions and new atomic model by the Rutherford in the next video. Till then, see you. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.